Hello everybody, welcome to another fantastic episode of Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John. I'm in the world famous sipping den. You're here too as well. Thank you. I hope you have cracked open a bottle to sip along with me, maybe even this one. Now on this channel, I do everything that has anything to do with alcohol. Pretty impressive, I know. I also do, as if that isn't enough, and it is, a world famous coffee review on Sundays. Because Sunday is a beautiful day to relax and drink coffee. Gives you another thing to look at. I'll tell you, to keep track of all this stuff, I have the most up-to-date playlist. Easy to navigate, category, subcategory. You just start looking through it and you'll get lost. You'll get lost, not lost because it's hard, it's easy to navigate. Lost in the wonder of it. Just spending the day looking at all these beautiful reviews and things that I do. And every video I make, the first comment's pinned because it has a link. It has a link to what I'm reviewing. In this case, it's a Tennessee whiskey, and I have a whole playlist for Tennessee whiskey. This is an interesting one. And the most important thing of all is who lent me this bottle and who did it. You know who did it. If you've ever watched anything of mine that involves bourbon, Tennessee whiskey, American whiskey, Jeff, a personal friend, an icon in the industry. He really is. A man who loans me whiskey, a supporter of this channel. Jeff, thank you very much, my friend. And what did he lend me this time? Well, we're talking about this here. This is George Dickel Bottled-in-Bond. Aged 13 years, all right? And we'll get into what's on this label before we taste it because it's interesting. Blue, you're looking at it, right? You're looking at the bottle. Established in 1870, George Dickel, Tennessee, Bottled-in-Bond whiskey. Distilled and charcoal mellowed, thus making it, right, Tennessee whiskey as opposed to a bourbon. At Cascade Hollow Distillery, Tullahoma, Tennessee. 50% ABV, 100 proof, as required by law when it's distilled. Now, aged 13 years. The price of this, I can't remember what it is. I think it's under $50, which for a 13-year whiskey at 100 proof, Bottled-in-Bond, that's crazy. That should be on. Well, let's taste it. But just that alone, yeah, you can't pass it up. So it has the Bottled-in-Bond law here, which is beautiful. I read it to you. The Bottled-in-Bond Act of 1897 is an old law, yes, but it's an important one to know. It is. To be considered bonded, the whiskey must be from a single distillation season and distillery. We know the distillery. The distillation season is the spring of 2007. It's right here on the bottle. It must be aged for at least 4 years. Okay, this is aged 13 years. And it must be unaltered from its original character, except using pure water to reduce proof to 100. And it must be 100 proof. This batch George Dickel you're holding abides by this law. Yeah. And it better because it says it on the label. All right. In 1870, George A. Dickel began a journey leading to the creation of the best Tennessee whiskey around. Discovered that his whiskey made in the cold winter months tasted smoother. Okay. You know what else this distillery makes? Dickel? Barrel, right? Barrel whiskeys. Smooth Ambler, which I've done reviews on both of them. And, I have it written down somewhere. Heaven's Door, the one that's sponsored by Bob Dylan. So that's what else is produced at this distillery. Now, let's get into it, shall we? Why, yes, we shall. let you look at the color. And then I'll let you look at the color in the glass. Alright. Let's give this bad boy. A lot of times this is overshadowed by what other famous distillery from Tennessee? Jack Daniels. "13 years, and you're getting that sweetness, you're getting that oak, you're getting that vanilla. You are definitely getting the corn. Well, I bet you can pick a lot out of this over time. It's a lot of years to be pulling all those beautiful flavors out of that oak. That sweet corn, that beautiful smell of that barrel, that vanilla that's imparted to it. Let's give it a taste. Some acclimation sip. Now I'm going in for the kill. I'll tell you this, there's a real sweetness on the front of this. Real sweet. I'm going to tell you what this reminds me of. If you've had this, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Creamed corn out of a can, without the can tape. Creamed corn, if it was stored in a charred wooden can. I know that sounds ridiculous. As opposed to a tin can. The creamed corn. You know how it's sweet? And of course it's corn, but it's got the sweetness to it. And when I eat it, I like creamed corn. I always put, you could put black pepper. I like to use the peppercorns and crush them up and put it in there. It tastes like creamed corn out of a charred container made of wood with crushed black pepper on it. The sweetness, the corn, the creaminess, the pepper. Now, it's not exactly like that, right? It's not like if you're blindfolded, you might think you're drinking creamed corn. But it has enough similarities to where it reminds me of that. I'm well aware that this is a whiskey. Maybe like cream of corn with black pepper. Or cream corn with this whiskey poured in it, mixed. That's the best way I could describe this. That's what really popped in my head. Cream of corn, sweet. Put black pepper on it. It's got that little peppery bite to it. It's got that obviously creamy mouthfeel. It tastes like corn. You get the wood, the char. That's the best way to describe this. And I like cream corn, so I like this whiskey. And there might be other things now a little bit popping in my head, but I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want to over. That's what I'm getting. If I sat here long enough, sipped it long enough, there's some other things. It might be I'm gonna leave it. It might splash apple coming through now a little bit, but I like to leave that description because that's what really came up first, and I think that's the most dominant thing, and that's what I want to leave in your head on this one. Thank you for being here. Jeff, thank you for letting me borrow this. Thank you for the sub. Have fun with the playlist. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one.